Peace and blessings to the 12 tribes of Israel. Today I'm going to deal with a commentary share called Black Sperm Donors. Black Sperm Donors. So this is a video concerning a black woman, and I think she's pushing this kind of black sperm, going to a clinic, one of those clinics where women go to when they can't find a husband, and they go and get the donor sperm inserted in them. So I suppose they buy the sperm and they insert it in them, and then they get pregnant, right? So I think she's on here advertising or pushing going to clinics, and she's claiming that she has finally got some black sperm, so I suppose she's encouraging other black women in the same situation as her. So let's hear what she has to say.
Black women are availing ourselves to all of the options that our hard work and circumstances currently afford us. And that means that single motherhood by choice is going to be an option that more and more black women consider and even exercise. So anybody that's in their feelings about that can go ahead and start to process right now. Because black women that have the privilege to embark upon this expensive and oftentimes lengthy process will increasingly decide to forego marriages and partnerships that do not serve us and that are not in our best interests. And now that bypassing those insufficient relationships does not have to come at the expense of motherhood, well, frankly, it's a whole new world. A world in which black women are no longer subject to the desperation of being chose, because now we get to do the choosing.
Now, this woman is she's probably well known in America, probably in black circles in America. Now, I don't know this woman. I don't really care too much about her. She's not claiming to be a Christian. Now, this is a Bible believing channel. This is a Bible sharing channel. It's a channel whereby I share what I've learned and I edify brothers and sisters. Now, this woman is not claiming to be a Christian. She's not claiming to be an Israelite. She's just a modern, basic, worldly black female in America. Right? Now, this is a typical black female in America. This is the mentality of a black female in America. And it's typical of a black woman that from the ages of 20 to the ages of 40 plus, that has spent 20 years messing about, not submitting, not being quiet, not choosing wisely in the first place, not having a good relationship with your father, not having a good relationship with anybody, really, not aiming to fix themselves with the Bible, with the Holy Scriptures, and to correct the problems. So this is the result of 20 years of not correcting the dysfunction. So instead of correcting the dysfunction and attracting a husband that stays, attracting a man that stays, attracting a black man that stays, a man of wisdom that stays with you and can lead you in the right direction, with you being submissive to him, instead of you being submissive and doing the things that a woman is supposed to do, you decide to do your own thing. You decide to choose terrible men, and then you decide to have these terrible consequences as a result. And this is the result. The result is going to clinics and looking for black sperm. The elusive black sperm. This is the result.
And as we choose, we do have to contend with the reality of a dismally small supply of black sperm. Because most black women on this journey, we want to create children that look like us and that look like our families, and that means we want black sperm. And as we heard from Reese Brooks, it's the definition of slim pickings, and sometimes that means compromising on this aspect of your journey. Now, I am extremely fortunate that I was able to secure 2 vials of black sperm from California Cryobank when I embarked on this part of my journey last fall. But I do know that I am an outlier. So I've got 2 concrete tips for single black women who think this may be an option.
So basically, black men that understand their value and understand the value of black sperm do not go to these clinics and offload their sperm. Now, this is a very unlawful, biblically unlawful. It's evil. It's wrong. This is not the way how the Lord planned it to be. Nowhere in the Bible is the Lord saying that you should be able to go to a clinic and get sperm. No. The Bible says a young woman should get a husband, bear children, and guard the home. It just means to take care of the home, manage the home, order the home, right? That is the job of a young black female. We're talking about a 20-year-old, someone who's just turned a woman. Her job is to find a husband. How do you find a husband? You find a husband by making sure that you're able to attract a husband in your behavior, the way you look, the way you carry yourself, the way you talk. Everything about you, your clothes should elude husband, 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 husband. You're supposed to find that's how you partly find a husband, and you bear children. You're supposed to have children when you're 20 years old. You're in your early 20s. You're supposed to be having loads of children. When you're in your mid 20s, when you're in your late 20s, that's when you should be finalizing your family. You enter your early 30s. That's when you should be having your last child. By the time you hit 35, your reproduction or fertility process grinds to a halt. And it gets harder for you to have children after that, because you're coming to the end of your reproductive window. And a woman in general has a very short window between the ages of 20 and 35. The Bible says you become a woman at 20. So between the ages of 20 and 35 is when you should be having all of your children. But if you leave it until you're in your late 30s because you've never bothered to correct your condition, to actually say, do you know what, I'm a really bad person. Let me go in the Bible and see what the Bible says in terms of my behavior. How do I attract a husband? Right? So when you're in your late 30s, you never bother to do that. And when you're in your early 40s, it's way too late now for all that. Because how are you going to have your first child when you're in your early 40s without lots and lots and lots of help? And I mean from outside people. Right?
Either now or maybe later. Number 1, please check out Reproductive Village. It's a new black-owned cryobank, and it's designed to help with this shortage of black sperm. It's set to open its doors in D.C. later this year, and it will also have drop-off locations in Atlanta and Houston, Texas. And number 2, be proactive. I say go ahead and start looking right now for desirable black sperm. You register with all 4 of the big cryobanks, and this includes California Cryobank, which I used, Seattle Sperm Bank, Fairfax Cryobank, and Zytex. Then you can scan the current options for black sperm. And if you see some sperm that you like, I suggest go ahead and buying at least 2 vials right now. Even if you do not intend to use them anytime soon, trust me, it's better to have them than to be without them when the time comes. And listen, if you never need them for whatever reason, what a wonderful gift to give to a friend or a sorority sister in need. And also, most of those banks, they allow you to resell the sperm back to the bank itself. Listen, I know that many are going to question or even indict the decision that I and many other black women are making to become single mothers by choice. But I, like the women you heard from today, go by the creed of no regrets. I have, and many black women have, too much love, too many resources, and too rich of a community not to share these gifts with children of our own. Children that will one day, no doubt, enrich and contribute to the next generation of Black America.
This is obviously a repulsive thing that she's actually pushing. You know, she's pushing what she's doing. She's encouraging other black females to go to these stupid sperm clinics to get black sperm. Right? Right? And she's actually, in a way, trying to say that black men need to be donating their sperm. Now, this is obviously a black American issue, a Western female issue, because the vast majority of these females don't submit, don't behave like wives, don't behave themselves properly. They think they're men, and this is the result. Now, if you're 20 years old and you're thinking, oh, why should I have to submit? I shouldn't have to submit. Nobody else submits. That's an old-fashioned thing. Why do I have to dress modestly? Oh, well, that's old-fashioned. Why should I have to do that? This is the result. Fast forward 20 years and this is what's going to happen to you. This is what you're up against. Now, this whole process of going to a sperm clinic and actually Xing out the father, because the father is not going to be in these children's lives. It's a sperm clinic, right? It's anonymous, right? So therefore, the woman is going to raise the child with no father. Whatever sex the child is, the child always needs a father to balance that relationship out for fully functional behavior as a grown human being. But the woman has decided, oh, well, I'm just going to go to a sperm clinic and I'm just going to X out the father because black men are no good anyway. We just want the sperm. And then I'm just going to bring a child into this world with no father. And I'm going to be very, very selfish. And then I'm just going to be happy. And I'm going to be happy and I'm going to do me. Right? This is a typical Western black female type of way of thinking, and this is going to be you in 20 years. If you want to know what you're gonna, if you carry on with your bad behavior, this is what you're going to be in 20 years. Now I'm going to end it here. Brothers and sisters, I hope you're edified. Shalom.